Welcome, traveler! Today we are continuing our Dark Souls characters into MTG Legends series. The shadowy individual we'll take a look into this time is the necromancer Pinwheel. This is him. If you're interested, come take a peek into the cauldron. Probably the easiest boss to beat in the game, Pinwheel presents itself as an odd-looking creature, wearing an ink-black robe and 3 masks. Sporting a staggering 6 arms, he will attack you with pyromancy and illusions. Being very fragile himself, the best tactics to fight him is relentlessly charging him over and over without giving him a chance to retaliate. But if you hesitate, prepare to be overwhelmed by a storm of blazing fire. Let's see how we can translate this in the game. White hardly ever fits a necromancer. Pinwheel is not the exception. Isolated in solitude, in the depths of the catacombs, alone, in his research where none can distract him, Blue describes him. Pinwheel managed to steal the god of death power and rules over the catacombs. Unlike Nito though, he forgoes inertia and stillness, and instead uses the dead to fuel his dark, twisted research. He falls into the black slice as well. A master of pyromancy, we are never told what was Pinwheel trying to discover before our interaction. Many guess his research being driven by a desire to split his body into the father, mother and child again. Or maybe he became one of his own volition, in an attempt to bring back the other two from the dead, and is trying to further their connection instead. The only thing we can tell for sure is that all the entities within him have a distinct personality, since they are seen discussing with each other when we enter. A purpose driven by emotion, a chaotic creature being home of 3, Pinwheel is red. Very few necromancers can be considered green. They place no value in life, care not about nature or its laws, and on the contrary, they live to defy them. In the end, he'll be Grixis. For Grixis mana, Pinwheel is a legendary creature or a wizard, and is a 1/1. This represents him being physically very fragile and weak. If you haven't noticed, our poor necromancer even lacks hands. But he's not useless. You can pay 1, sacrifice another creature and tap him to create a token that's a copy of Pinwheel, except the token is an illusion and isn't legendary. His ability mimics his illusion magic, fueled by the dead that lay around him in the catacombs. If not killed immediately, your board will be filled with pinwheels, since every token, not only the original, will be able to create more and more, and the reason why that's threatening to your opponents is its second ability. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, Pinwheel deals 1 damage to that same target. So, while pinwheels by themselves aren't scary, given the time to amass an army, every spark you ignite will become a merciless inferno. When building a pinwheel deck, you'll want ways to create fodder for his illusions and ping and burn effects to control the board and kill your opponents. But beware! While your deck isn't going to have many key pieces you can function without, it will take a long time to rebuild your board after it gets wiped. Make sure to pack some protection. And now, let's see some of the best cards to consider when building a pinwheel deck. Jadar, Gulcolor Nephalia and Bloodgust are some of the more efficient and cheap ways to repeatedly put bodies on the battlefield for Pinwheel to exploit. While not being as efficient, you get more synergy with fodder that likes to be sacrificed. Among them, you find Cryptic Pursuit and Sedge Move Witch, one bolstering your life total and the other giving you card advantage. Prodigal Sorcerer and Gutter Snipe are the two main categories of constant poke sources Pinwheel allows you to transform into real threats, even with little untapping and cantrip chaining shenanigans. The Niv Mizzet duo of Firemind and Parun are pricey chunky dragons, but with them on the field, along with a non-zero amount of pinwheels, you can really control the board and then nuke your opponent's life total into oblivion. Medium Mortars in our deck will have the bite you always wanted it to bring, becoming a real one-sided board wipe with little effort. Once you have a big illusion army though, you'll be able to pay as little as 2 mana with an overloaded Electricity to get such an effect. A couple of cards that can really benefit from a huge Pinwheel army are the classic Comet Storm and the obscure Caltrops. With the first, you can sink all your mana in extra targets as long as the Comet Storm deals 1 damage, every Pinwheel will follow for more. With Caltrops, every opponent will think twice about attacking, but be careful since they won't be able even to attack each other without taking the damage, so the entire table removal will be directed at you. Last, but definitely not least, I have to mention the new Ashinon the Uncaring. Our illusion token generation ability falls under her restrictions, so with an Ashinon in play, every Pinwheel will produce 2 clones over 1, making the deck explode a whole lot faster. That's all I have for our Trinity Necromancer. If you enjoyed the video and wanna see more, please consider liking and subscribing. Leave a comment to let me know which character would you wanna see next. This was Eve. Thanks for watching.